Is it gonna switch? There it goes. Good morning. Good Sunday morning to you, and welcome to Sunday Soul Talks, where I never have a clue about what I'm going to say. It's crazy. Hmm. Watching that mind thing, talking to Sherry this morning, going, I have no idea. But she talked about something. Yeah, let's talk about that. I don't know, Cher. If it's okay, we didn't talk. I say what I want. It just comes out. It's a beautiful thing. She when Sherry was here visiting in actually no. Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah, that her house in California has Good morning, Cynthia. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you so much. Just like you say at the end, every single time you say I appreciate you, I appreciate you. Anyway, Sherry was concerned because her house in California, all the plumbing all had to be redone. It was going to cost some $10,000. So she was worried about spending money here or whatever she does. There's that looming thing over your head that I'm going to have money for. And of course, everybody knows that my $7,500 check and $7,500 bill without a penny off happened. Well, she just had it done. Her mom gave her Christmas gift early, her half of it, and her ex-husband, whatever you want to call him, he did the other half. It's done. So now she can have her hot Epsom salt baths again. She's so happy. But we so it got her and I talking about how something happens and seemingly happens here in this dream. It seemingly happens, and then there's a reaction of the mind, whether it's good, bad, it's right, wrong. It's constantly judging the moment. That's what love. Bruce Adams, who used to run a coffee shop, ice cream shop over here, which was a big part of my spiritual teaching. He talks about love is a communion with the moment without judgment. No judgment in any moment. That's what love is. That's how you feel love in your body when there's no judgment happening of something being right or wrong. So, whenever something seemingly happens and there's a elation because, yeah, that's right. That's the way it needs to be. That's the way it should be. Well, that's all judgment. It's all that mental commentary. And then when it's seemingly wrong, there's a, I don't like this. I don't want this. It's not, this shouldn't be, even though it is, even though it is. All of that upset, all of that fighting against it, when you look back, it always worked out. And anybody I talk to, anybody I say when they're relaying something horrible that happened, blah, 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 and I say, it's going to work out. That mind doesn't want to hear it, especially when it's in the throes of the, no. You could save your body so much. upset, a disturbance inside. If you just realize it's going to work out. Can you imagine going through life? It's going to work out. It always works out. It's everything is happening, seemingly, for our highest good. Always. For our awakening, actually, to realizing what's really going on here. And it isn't about suffering. I mean, the suffering is what makes you go, what the? Actually, the only reason you'd be listening to this is to ease your suffering, is to hopefully ease your suffering. But the suffering is what causes the looking that there has to be a better way or a different way. It doesn't even have to be better. It's just better is from the mind, but a, a way that's not so painful. And if you go into anything and just breathe, I listened to a near death experience woman this morning because I was up at 4:30 and I didn't need to be, so I just looked for something. And it kept my attention because I was, I usually put something in so it'll lull me back to sleep. But she was so fascinating, it kept me, it kept me. And she was talking about how when she came back, because she died because she couldn't breathe. And when she finally got that breath after everything that happened, seemingly happened in the other realm or whatever she experienced, when she came back, she said she breathed in, she got a big breath, and she realized that breath is God. That breath is life itself. That's why. Good morning, Margie. Good morning. Thanks for being here. When I when you take that breath in the midst of a mind catastrophe, the minute you breathe brings you right back to now. You're out of your head. You're completely out of your head. And my girlfriend Judy talks about breathing into your sides. She has a book that she wrote. Oh, shoot, Sherry. What the heck? I've completely drawn a blank on on her. We just talked about it last night. I literally was on the phone with her yesterday, and we talked about her book. It's a great book. Um, it's an odd name. It's not your. It's not. It's not a word that you would use daily. Anyway, it's in my email. Um. Anyway, it always works out as long as you let go of needing to control it, needing to, because we're not controlling any of this. We're not in control. And when you try to control with effort and that's what keeps the Maya going, keeps the confusion, the upset in the body. When you let go and realize you're not controlling any of this, oh my God, that is such a relief. I think this goes on my, oh, it's Phoebe. Yeah, get back to her. When I get out of the way, I get dark, and you can see. Look at the palm trees. I worked out here this morning, and I was just like, ah, I am so blessed to be able to live here. I Are you blessed to be able to live where you are, Margie? When we focus, okay. Have you ever heard the the thing, the phrase, what you focus on expands. That's why when there's judgment, oh, there's a huge woodpecker on a very healthy palm tree. I was so. Did you see how quick that happened? There was awesome to see him, and then it was like, there's something wrong because he's pecking on our good palm trees. That's how easy it is to get into judgment about right and wrong. It's so, because when I am what I call in the flow of life, that's when you're not being pulled back and forth. You're not being blessed and grateful. Spellbound no more. That's what it is. The name of Judy's book is Spellbound No More. Thank you, Cher. And Sherry not being able to have her Epsom salt baths for months. I don't even know how long it's been. It's been a while, at least 6 months. And having she took one, I could feel the joy. Anyway, yes, Spellbound No More. It's about she talks. She's the one that got us into breathing into your sides. Breathing. The minute you breathe, it brings you right back to now, and you're out of those thoughts that are patterns, well worn grooves from basically since you were young. And blessed and grateful. When you are centered on when you breathe and come back to gratitude, feeling blessed for where you're living, that you have a roof over your head, that you're basically, when the bottom line is what Byron Katie taught us is when she realized all of the rest was bullshit, basically. Right now, woman sitting in chair. You could be sitting in the chair and in so much turmoil within because worried of lack of money, worried that other that you're too fat. Now, let's just take the ones that I go through. you, excuse me. The identification with this body. So much pain. So much. It judges the belly. It judges the belly. And lately, I've been just seeing how often it is judging this belly. Like, it can totally make your day. There's no gratitude when you're judging this body. And that's the number one thing, especially for women, because we're taught that we're supposed to look a certain way. Well, yesterday on the beach, there's so many different body shapes. And I watched as this mind would gravitate towards the younger ones with the perfect butt and the flat belly and the perfect boobs. What? It's comparing. That's the number one thing this does, is compare to others. And we either come out less than or better than. Most of the time it's less than. And that hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Even to be better than. Because neither one is true. None of us are these bodies. These bodies help us. Okay, have you ever been grateful for your body? I remember doing it was in Freeport it was a, oh God, what was that guy's name? It was a 3-day weekend. And it didn't cost anything. It was a 3 full-day weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, with this guy at his home. And we just went, the gratitude I felt for this body when I left there, when it was building the whole weekend. And I was like, I actually wrote a letter to this body saying I'm sorry for believing the thoughts that say, those younger ones were probably wishing they had your girl. That's funny. That's funny because it's really not an asset, let me tell you. I can't fit in half the clothes because of them. Anyway, I love them. I love them. I love them. Peter loves them too. Always has. Okay, so yeah, when we judge our bodies and then judge everything that goes into our mouths because it's gonna, what? How painful is that? Something that you really love to eat, you won't eat it because you're gonna get fat. How? What? First of all, being identified with this body, literally, can, what if it didn't matter? What if anything you put in your mouth does not affect this body whatsoever? That's what Hope talks about. She says nothing. It's not about calories in, calories out. That's in the dream. But in reality, the body isn't even a reality. In this dream, it can be what you want it to be. Okay, so I'm talking to myself right now. I know this is a stretch because I'm going to watch this back because I'm talking to me. This body is part of this dream of separation from God. But if we are that source, that God source, does it get fat? Does it? Uh, is it uh, unworthy? Is it? Oh, I had no idea I was going to go here. Is it needing to measure up to somebody else's idea of who we are or who we should be or should have been? I don't think so. Doesn't that sound blasphemous? Can't even believe that word just came. Seriously, do you think the creator, whatever, makes our bodies do what it does, makes these hands go, makes these words come out? Do you think it intended for us to believe we were separate from it and immediately the belief, the subconscious belief is I'm not worthy, something's wrong with me, I'm not worth it, I'm not worth love and whatever, I'm not worth love. That's the thing. When we think we're not worthy of love, we go searching for it in the others and we need their approval. We need somebody, we're programmed as young kids to think that we need somebody's approval, and if we don't get it from that person, ooh, there's the hatred. The And it's not about them not approving me because we don't know it. Most of us don't have any idea. It's not because it's because we're not being approved of. It's just they're a bitch or they're an ass or whatever, which isn't true. Those people are your mirror for you to look and see where you're already believing you're not worth it, where you're already believing. So when somebody says it, like when somebody says you're not, you've done something wrong, there's something wrong with you, whatever, and you wither and you fight back and say, yes, I am worth it, but you wouldn't need to fight back if you already knew you were. There's no fighting involved. It bounces off. Like when Patty yelled at me, it literally bounced off. I had compassion for her because if she thinks that about me, she's living hell inside of her. When somebody's thinking you're the worst is living in them. Literally. When I think Peter's done something wrong and I'm projecting some nastiness onto him, that nastiness is living in me. It's mine, not his. It's mine. Oh my God. This is beautiful for me. Because lately, there's been an irritation inside, and Peter's getting the worst. But I also notice that we have this pattern. We love each other and it's not threatening anything. It's just we have this pattern that I'm watching of he says something, I react to it. Or I say something, he reacts to it. So I want to break that chain. Just like Christina is breaking, she's coming out of that chain. So George is like, oh, he doesn't even know. He has no idea. Because he's superficial. He's so stuck in those. That's why I can't blame anybody for being stuck in their patterns of thought. They don't even know. They literally have no clue. I'd love to sit down with him and have a conversation. But that's scary to me because of the conversation I had with him one time. There was no words. Like I couldn't get any words in. And when as he was saying how horrible she was, and I said, "Well, why do you even want to be with why what?" he does he was like, "Well, I'm not gonna. I love her." Okay, really? Really? It's not the way it sounded to me. All that venom, but that venom is living in him. And I love George. He has the biggest heart when it's not covered by the beliefs of basically, I've told Christina, he's 6. He's a 6-year-old boy not getting what he wants, having a temper tantrum. And their patterns are she does things subconsciously to poke the bear without even literally there it takes two. It's not ever one-sided. There is no victim and perpetrator at all. I've never said he's the perpetrator and she's the victim or vice versa. Well, it wouldn't be vice versa the way it looks. I love them both exactly the same. When I think of George, he wants to do, he knows. We were in the boat one time with Christina's son and 2 of his sponsors, and we were heading out into the Gulf, and um, another guy was coming on his boat the opposite way. I was up in the front, and I turned back and I looked at George. I said, "This guy was coming back all by himself." I said, "Isn't it more fun to be with people on your boat?" And he thought for a minute. He goes, "Yeah, it is." I don't think unless he has to go have it fixed or whatever. I don't think he goes out on his own. Does he, Christina? I've never known him to go out by himself. Anyway, being with others, if you are open to looking at your stuff, other people can be your barometer, your if you're open, he doesn't go on by himself. Yeah, I didn't think so. Um, other people can be your awakening when it hurts, when they've said something or done something that hurts you. If you refuse to blame them, this is what frees you. Because all of this stuff, like with Patty yelling at me, I did not know that there was that kind of healing inside that I didn't know because I'm not normally yelled at by strangers. That doesn't happen normally. And I think I've said that before that happened, I wondered there was a because I'm noticing I can write something down or just have a thought. Christina knows we have seeing so many synchronicities. It's nuts. There's so many that I can't even predict. I can't even recall them. There's just it's like a common thing now where we'll say something and boom, then it happens. So I wrote because Phoebe and I have had a little thing going on when we came back from New York, and I've been watching the thoughts, my thoughts, the thoughts that are coming in about it, and it's feeling off in this body because if somebody yelled at me that was a stranger, why would it? bother me if somebody close did. And that I've realized it's because that there's more there's more attachment to the ones that you love. There's more emotional emotional attachment. And then what the thoughts came in was I wouldn't ever do that to her. I wouldn't ever. But that's a thought that feels awful in this body. And then there was another thought of there was another thought that was really, really in my face where I had to see myself. You guys, so much is happening lately that the lady at Gwen at school, she looks at me, she shakes her head. She is a practical joker. So she pulls things on people. So she hadn't pulled anything on me. She hadn't. But there's a couple of things that have happened. One, I was just going out to fill my water bottle. So I took the magnet since Dennis had left. Cohen wasn't there. There was only Roger. We didn't need to lock the door. We didn't need to have any special thing on it. But I don't have a key to get in, so I wanted to put the magnet to keep the door from closing because I'm just going across the hall in view of the door. But when I left, I put that thing in there, but I wasn't. There was a thought. Did I put it right? Did I put it there right? There was a fleeting thought. And when I came back, the door was locked and no one was in the room. I'm like, what? What? So I go around to the other door and no one's in. No, I can't see nobody. So I look in the room next to us, which is connected on the inside, but the outside doors, there's a window. So I look in there and I see Gwen, and I swear I locked eyes with her, and and she ducked behind towards the bathroom, so I couldn't, and I went that she took that thing out of the door to screw with me, because I've seen her do it with other people. She hadn't done it with me, and she came in. I ended up getting in the room somehow. Oh, the lady from the other side let me in. I came through and I get in there and I I see Ricky. I said, I'm talking to him and I said, I, I said, did Gwen put that thing in that door? And he said, no, she didn't do it. And he seemed very honest. She didn't. So when she came in, I said, you put that thing in that door, didn't you? And she says, no, I did not put that thing in the door. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Uh, so she was very matter of fact. She did not do it. Turns out, but so I'm thinking, okay, I screwed up. I Another one of these things that's happening that I don't recall. I must have done it wrong. So I'm thinking I'm losing my mind. And by the end of the day, it was Ricky that did it. It wasn't Gwen, but it was their idea together to do that. And the whole time I'm thinking, I mean, it was just a fleeting thought, but still, they're adding up. There's so many. Like somebody will tell me to recall, or what did they say? What did they say in this situation? What I can't recall. I cannot recall a conversation word for word. I can't. It's not. There's no hanging on to words or situations. You would think the average person, a thought would come, there's Alzheimer's going on or whatever. And I know better than that. It's just when you're in the moment more than you're in your head, there's 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 not much recall. And it's okay. That's the bottom line. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up if you don't remember something. Don't beat yourself up. It's okay to forget or to not recall word for word. Actually, they all people that talk about what the mind does, they say everybody has a different idea or recall of what happened. Everybody's perspective is different, but as time goes by, it's distorted. Have you ever told a story and then you realize somebody else said something and then, oh, that is how it went down, but I was telling it wrong. Not wrong, but from whatever the mind is saying about it. All that's why they call the mind Maya. It's Maya. It's muddy until you're clearer, more in the now, in the moment, the clarity. Oh my God. When a synchronicity happens, it's like, ooh, it brings you right back to now. The minute it's like, Christina, look at us, look at each other like, what? Like something as silly as watching a video, this one, watching a video on YouTube, and there's a big black spider going across their garage. And I looked at that. And I said to Peter, I said, that's a black widow spider because the blackness of it. I've never seen one. They have them here apparently, but ooh, I don't want to call. I don't want to call one in. Anyway, so it turns out the guy said that's a black widow on the thing because Peter's like, no, that's not a black widow. I've never seen a spider that black. Anyway, he said it didn't have the hourglass. I said, that's on its belly. That hourglass, that red is on its belly, and it was crawling across the floor. So, literally hours later, I'm talking with Judy, and she talks about seeing black widows in her vicinity outside of her place. All she's been coming across. I'm like, that's. I'm telling you, when I wrote in this book that day, Thursday, about what was going to happen on Saturday, and it did. I have the proof. I took it out and showed Peter. Thank God I wrote it because who knows if I'd remembered it. I wrote it down what was going to happen Saturday, and sure enough, it happened. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know what the hell is going on. I don't. They say that we're creating all of this. I'll get back to you on it. Maybe I should start writing down more. Because I notice that my thoughts are, well, they have been recently, in the toilet about myself. I think it had to do with this whole Phoebe thing because it was uncomfortable inside. But obviously it was meant to be for whatever needs to be learned. Because as we have another aha, oh, there's another, that's what, it's happening all the time without us even knowing until you run into a spot where some stranger yells at you and you have nothing but compassion, no disturbance, because I've been yelled at in my life by a lot of people in the past, and it made so much upset in here, and even with the little knife doing it well, that wasn't a, I mean, there was an abrupt, no, don't use that knife. But it wasn't so much energy, the defend. I didn't need to defend. But it used to be when somebody yelled at me, there was a need to defend. There's so much energy coming up. But with Patty, there was zero energy in this body, nothing but compassion. And that energy is beautiful when you have compassion. And I was saying to Phoebe, that I see where I was criticizing her driving because I was scared. I was in the back seat, scared because we were going pretty fast. I could feel it in the car. So she was tired. And I had said inside to myself that it was something she could do because her mind kept dwelling on her not contributing to the weekend. But there was nothing. Christina had to do it all because there was so much. It was overwhelming for me. I couldn't. I was so in my head. When you're in your head thinking it should be different than it is, literally the takeaway from that is you're miserable. You're miserable when you're thinking it should be different. If you accept what is, then life just makes it work out. Simply. I, I have so many examples of that, and you've heard them all. But really, how much more do I need to remember that it's happening for us, all of it, beautifully, if we let go and stop resisting. Kelly Sammy, breathe and don't resist. That's if I had to say what us humans can do as humans in the dream to remedy anything that ramps up the energy inside, breathe and don't resist. Don't fight what's happening. That's it. I'm going to call this breathe and don't resist because that's exactly, just try it. It's not going to hurt anything to try it. Just try it. When something comes up in the moment and you feel your body, the energy, and it's immediate, it is fast, it is like lightning. Breathe and don't fight it. Accept it and see where that goes. See where it goes. And then drop me a line. Send me a message telling me how it went for you. I'd love to hear it. I would absolutely love to hear anything that's happened for you from this, from breathing and not resisting what's going on. Yes, indeed. Ooh. Hmm. There's um there's a plant I have here that um, Matt V's girlfriend gave me, and it's going crazy. It loves being here, and it's maybe I should show it. God, it's so big. This was not even near this big when I got it, but it has this. Okay, how am I gonna? Okay, right there. See the leaf, the new leaf. These new leaves come out of this. It's like a. So it. Oh, it's wet. It's inside of this, and as it comes out by backing out, and it looks seems like it would be struggling. So I'm using this as a metaphor because I've the last one seemed like it took forever for it to come out, so I helped it. It doesn't need help. It doesn't need help. No one needs help. If help comes, but I'm judging it as suffering because it can't get out of there. Because look at it. Look how. Can you see how wrinkled and like it's it's like trying to. It's really not. It's only my projection of it. My perception of it is it's having a hard time getting out of there. It knows what it's doing. And every single person has their own compass. Actually, well, not every single, but most near death experience people, when they come back, they realize that they chose everything that's happening here. It's a blueprint for the awakening of the soul. So the coming back to the soul, the thing that's animating all of this, the thing that's using this body to was so we build up the ego as we're young to defend, to fight, to be worthy, because the belief is I'm not worthy. And then the rest of the life, we're undoing it. Or because it's already, we're already worth it. We just don't believe it. That leaf looks like a heart. Oh, oh my God. It's true. They all look like hearts. I didn't even think about that. They all look like a heart. Every single one of them. I don't know. Can you see? They all are hearts. Oh my God. Yeah. I didn't even notice that. Thank you, Cynthia. She gave me that. And you know what? Another thing I noticed in the school, a lot of the girls have shirts that say love or hearts all over them. I'm noticing them everywhere. It's like, and I always say, I love that shirt to the, it's so fun. I was thinking this morning I'd like to do a girls, like a meeting or some kind of something where I could talk to them about, you know, when you're in high school and all the drama, you're just trying to figure it out, and they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out on their own. I, my Lori's automatic is to alleviate suffering. That's what that's her. But then there's the other side where suffering is what causes people to go inside and find the love that they are. Without suffering, what would make you go inside? Because it's very hard to go in. Most of us don't want to sit quietly in a room alone for an hour with your own thoughts. But the best when you do, if you do sit by yourself, I mean, even 5 minutes can do a lot. Can open up. It can 5 minutes by yourself. And when the thoughts, because they're going to come and they're going to do what they do, make it when your body reacts, breathe and come back to right now. Each time you breathe and come back, that train of thought and the upset in the body that it was on it's gone. Back. And the shoulders come down. The calmness comes in. I like to visualize the blackness. When I close my eyes, there's a spot I focus on here. I think they call it the third eye. I don't know. You don't have to call it anything, but it's a dark, dark spot there. And that's when I come back. And then the thoughts go on and they come back. But the longer the thoughts are not there, it's pretty cool. When you come out of it, you're so relaxed and calm, calm inside. I love it. I really do. Just like it is out there. Look how calm that water is. Oh, I don't know if you saw that fish jump. Calm. The leaves, the palm fronds are barely moving. Mm. Just that's it. It seems like it's dried up. If anybody has a question, are you going through anything and you want to talk about anything? Yesterday at the beach, we went to the Lani Kai because it got pretty demolished during Ian 3 years ago. But they finally opened it, and the next weekend they're going to open the top, where you can go to the sixth floor and you sit on these really cool swing tables with canopy and watch the sunset. That we've done that forever. In 3 years we haven't been able to do it. And they've painted on the wall they painted some wings that are all different colors. You know how you stand in front of the angel wings with different places, and the but this is all different colors. So this guy, this random guy, because I started saying, "Oh my God, that's so cool." He goes, "We'll take a picture. That's what it's there for." I said, "I know, but I don't have my phone. We left it back at the at the where we were sitting. It was quite a walk to get to the other guy from where we were." And he goes, "I'll take your picture." Didn't even hesitate. So he goes, "Then you can send it to yourself." So he took my picture and sent it to me. And I freaking look at this picture. Look at that. The Lani Kai Island Resort. Look at the symmetry of those wings. Somebody painted that. To me, that is just amazing. I love that picture so much. I love the how I'm always amazed by artists because I have a Taylor graduated with a friend, Renee. Renee, oh my God. I can't believe it. I just blanked out on her that. You're right, Margie. I might use that as my new Facebook profile picture. I think I'm going to do that. Anyway, Renee Royal is her name. She started out painting years ago, and I really wasn't. I really didn't. She's actually she did Taylor's um, tattoo he has on the back of his uh, calf, saying TNT because he's Taylor Norman Tippetoe, and it's a beautiful. And watching her now, she does fish and bear from me. Oh my God, I love her. It's just beautiful. Where was I going with that, Renee? Oh, she does murals on people's kids' bedroom walls. She does things on sides of people's sheds. I'm like, how on that scale? It's just the creativity of people blows my mind. Seriously, so cool to be so creative like that and have. I love. Anyway, if you look up Renee Royal Studios and just look at her stuff, oh my God, yeah, she's amazing, beautiful. The painting that we want is $900. Good for her. When I saw that, I was like, wow, good for her. Cynthia, I had a dream last night about forgiveness for my husband and myself. He left his body 21 years ago. I'm celebrating our anniversary this year, November 27th. Yeah! Forgiveness. Oh, Cynthia, as you forgive, it is a gift for you because he's forgiven you. If he had anything against you, if he had any kind of, which that's what the minds do, they fight. Once this body is dropped, there's no more mind. It's just love, which is what we are. There's no right, wrong, good, bad. There's no duality. It's just one love. That's why I know now that mom sees it clearly, I can, mm, yeah, such a beautiful thing. Mm, to come back to that love that we are. That's it. When you're feeling upset inside, you know you're stuck in your mind. Come back to the breath. Breathe. And if you like Judy's book, I think she's getting off. She said last night that it's not gonna be on Amazon anymore. Spellbound no more. So I don't know how she's gonna. I'll have to figure out how. It's not a very big book. It's a very easy read, but packed with some good stuff in it. Really good. Anyway, all right. I'm all done. I love you guys. And Cynthia, I love that dream for you. Like Peter's flying dream. Anyway, thank you all for being here, for entertaining this message all the way for almost an hour, for 50 minutes. I appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you next Sunday. Maybe. If you show up, I'm going to be here. Okay. Have a great